In this video we are going to discuss how to solve the problems of the exercise 1.3 of mathematics class 10. Okay, so now you see, before going to solve the problems of 1.3 we need to know something here. So this is a very important theorem. Suppose p be any prime number. Suppose p be any prime number. If p divides a square, then p also divides a. Okay, where a is a real number. Suppose p is any prime number. P is any prime number. This p divides a square of real number, that is a square. Okay, then p must divide a according to this theorem. Okay, so for example, we know that 9 square is equal to 81, and now you see, if you divide 81 by 3, we have taken a prime number, this is 3, which divides the 81 completely. Here remainders left 0. Okay, so we can say, as 3 divides 81, we can say 3 divides 9 square. Okay, so hence 3 also divides 9. You can check. Okay, so that is the logic. Okay, so now let's move on to next point. So you have already got what is rational number and irrational number in lower classes, but let me remind you again. Okay, a number is said to be rational if it can be written in the form of p by q, where q is not equal to 0 and p and q belongs to z. Z means set of all the integers. Okay, that means here p and q are integers and q should not be equal to 0. Okay, so those numbers are rational number, and rational number includes all natural number, whole numbers, fractions, integers. Okay, and natural numbers means 1, 2, 3. Whole numbers means you see, including 0, all the natural numbers are whole number. And negative integers can be also there, positive integers can be also there, fractions may be also there, and decimal fractions, suppose 2.1 is also rational. Okay, and suppose decimal expansion is non-terminating, but if it is recurring, then also it is rational. Okay, when it will be irrational? If decimal expansion is non-terminating and non-recurring. Suppose the value of pi. So here you see, value of pi is equal to 3.14159265389 dot dot dot. Okay, so if the numbers is non-repeating but it is repeating, sorry, number is non-recurring but non-terminating but repeating in, you see, suppose here you see, let me give you an example. Suppose 1.2 recurring, here 2 3 recurring means what? 1.232323. so here you see, same blocks of numbers are repeating here, same group of numbers are repeating here, but here you see it is non-terminating but it is non-recurring. Okay, if you see this, if you observe this value 3.141592653 like this. Okay, it is not repeating in regular manner, so that's why it is non-recurring. Okay, now you see, such type of decimal expansion. Okay, so numbers like pi having non-terminating and non-recurring decimal expansions which cannot be written in the form of p by q are called irrational numbers. Okay, these are called irrational numbers. And you see, numbers having non-terminating and non-recurring decimal expansions, like here, let me give you some more examples here. 1.01001, again 0001, again quadruple 01 dot dot dot, so on. It is non-recurring. Okay, and root 2, root 5, these are also non they also have non-terminating, non-recurring decimal expansion, so that's why they are also irrational numbers. Okay, so let's move on to next exercise, next topic. Yeah, there is another theorem, that is root 2 is irrational. So how to prove that root 2 is irrational? Okay, so now you see, in order to prove root 2 is irrational, let us assume that root 2 is rational. Okay, if root 2 is rational, so we must able to write root 2 is equal to a by b form. Okay, in the form of a by b. Okay, so we have considered, we have assumed that, let us assume root 2 is rational number such that root 2 is equal to a by b, where b is not equal to 0 and a and b belongs to z, means they are integer and they are co-prime. Co-prime means numbers having no common factor other than 1. That means a and b have no common factor other than 1. That means 1 other than 1, these two cannot be divided by the same number. Okay, so that is the meaning of co-prime. Now you see, if you simplify this, then you will get root 2b is equal to a. Now squaring both side, we will get, here you see root 2 square is 2 and b square is b square and a square is a square. Okay, now look at this. As we have got 2b square is equal to a square, that means when b square is multiplied by 2, then it gives a square. Okay, when b square is multiplied by 2, then we get a square. That means 2 divides a square, that means 2 must be a factor of a square. And we have already got a theorem that if p is a prime number, if p divides a square, then it must divide a. So here also, if 2 divides a square, hence also divides a. That means 2 is a factor of a as well. Okay, if 2 is a factor of a, then there must be some integer which is multiplied by 2 must give a. Okay, so that means a must be equal to 2 into something. Okay, we have considered that thing is suppose c. Okay, we have considered a number c, when it is multiplied by 2 gives a. Because 2 is a factor of a, 2 divides a, that means there must be some number by which 2 should be multiplied to get a. Okay, so we have considered that number is c for some integer c. C is any integer suppose, and this is suppose equation number 2. Okay, now let us use this equation in 1. Now using equation number 2 in 1. Okay, if you use this value of a in 1, then what you will get? So replace this a square by 2c whole square. Okay, so we have used this value in 1. Okay, so what was the equation number 1? Twice b square is equal to a square. Now replace this a by this value twice c, because a is equal to twice c. Okay, so now, and doing so, we have got twice b square is equal to twice c whole square, which gives 4c square. Okay, now cancelling both side by 2, 2 2s are 4. On this side we have got b square is equal to twice c square. Okay, now 2 into c square is equal to b square, that means 2 divides b square, and hence 2 also divides b. Okay, so now it is found that when c square is multiplied by 2 gives b square, that means 2 must be a factor of b square, and hence also a factor of b. That means 2 divides b square, also divides b. Okay, now from 1 and 2, we have got that 2 divides a as well as 2 divides b. So what does it mean? That means a and b must have at least one common factor other than 1, that is 2. Okay, what should be the common factor other than 1? 2, because 2 divides both a and b. Okay, but here you see, as we have got here that a and b are co-prime, here we have written a and b are co-prime, that means they should not have any common factor, but we are getting here common factor. Okay, what is the common factor? 2 is the common factor. Okay, other than 1 we have got here 2 is common factor of a and b, which contradicts the fact a and b are co-prime. If they were co-prime, then they should not have common factor, but we are getting common factor. That's why contradiction occurs, and this contradiction occurs due to our wrong assumption. What was the wrong assumption? Root 2 is rational. As we have assumed here, that root 2 is rational, that is our wrong assumption. So from this analysis we have got that root 2 is rational, that is wrong assumption. Okay, if it is wrong assumption, what should be correct? Then root 2 is irrational, that is the correct statement. Okay, so that's how we can prove root 2 is irrational. Okay, hope you have understood this. So similarly we can solve the we can show how root 3 is irrational. Okay, we can also prove root 3 is irrational. Okay, so now you see, let me show you how to solve the first question of this exercise. Okay, so what is the first question of this exercise? This one. Okay, prove that root 5 is irrational. It is similar to the last theorem that we have proved that root 2 is irrational. Okay, so here we have to consider, we have to assume that root 5 is rational. Instead of irrational, we will assume it is rational, and so such that root 5 is equal to a by b, where b is not equal to 0 and b belongs to z, means they are integers and they are co-prime. That means they should not have, they have no common factor. Okay, so similarly, simplifying this, we have got root 5b is equal to a, squaring both sides, we have got root 5b square is equal to a square. That means 5 divides a square, hence also divides a. Okay, if 5 divides a, I have considered here multiplying c by 5, we used to get a. Okay, so using this value of a in equation number 1, we have got b square is equal to 5c square. Okay, so here we have replaced the value of a by this value 5c. Okay, so equation number 1 becomes 5b square is equal to 5c whole square, which is equal to 25c square. Cancelling both sides by 5, 5 5 is 25, we have got b is equal to 5c square. 5 into c square is equal to b square. That means 5 divides b, yes, 5 divides b square. I have written here c square, actually that should be b square. Okay, b square, and hence also divides b. Okay, hence also divides b. This should be the correct statement. And now you see, we have considered a and b are co-prime. This is co-prime, these two are co-prime, but here we have got that from 1 and 3 we have got that 5 divides b and 5 divides a, hence a and b must have at least one common factor other than 1, that is 5, which contradicts the fact a and b are co-prime. Okay, as contradiction occurs, why contradiction is occurring here? Due to our wrong assumption. Okay, what was the wrong assumption? Root 5 is rational, that was the wrong assumption. We have assumed that root 5 is rational, so that's why what should be the correct statement? That root 5 is irrational. That's how we can prove. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Now let's move on to next question number 3. Okay, so this is not question number 3, question number 2. So here, prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. How to prove this? This is very simple problem. Okay, now here you see, let us assume 3 plus 2 root 5 is rational, such that we have considered this is rational, such that this can be written in the form of a by b, where b is not equal to 0 and b integers and they are co-prime. Okay, so now let us transfer this 3 to other side. Okay, then we have got 2 root 5 is equal to a by b minus 3. Okay, now take b as LCM, then you will get a minus 3 by b, a minus thrice b by 2, and this 2 comes down to this side, so that's why here we have got twice b. Okay, that means we have simplified this relation. Okay, simplifying this equation, we have got finally this result. Okay, now here you see, a is integer, b is also integer, and all the integers are rational, and 3 and 2 are also integers, those are also rational, as each and every number in this expression are rational. That's why as a whole it is rational. A and b are integers, so a minus thrice b by twice b is rational. If this right hand side is rational, which is equal to root 5, then root 5 must be also rational. So from equation number 1, you have seen that this is equal to root 5. as we have got this is rational, so therefore root 5 must be also rational. If both sides are rational, then they can be equal. Okay, so from 1 we have got root 5 is rational. Okay, but the fact is root 5 is irrational. We have already proved in number 1 that root 5 is irrational, but now we are getting root 5 is rational, which contradicts the fact root 5 is irrational due to our wrong assumption. That means this assumption that we have taken this one as rational, that was wrong. Okay, so this assumption was wrong. Thus, what is the correct statement? 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. That is correct. Okay, so similarly we can solve question number 3. We can prove 1 by root 2 is irrational, 7 root 5 is irrational, this one irrational. Okay, so these are very similar problems. Here you have to consider 1 by root 2 is rational, you have to consider this one rational, hence it must be equal to a by b, where b is not equal to 0, a and b are integers, a and b, and they are co-prime as well. Now here you see, taking reciprocals of both left hand side and right hand side, we have got root 2 is equal to b by a. Okay, so b by a, as a and b both are integers, then b by a is rational. And so from 1, if b by a is rational, which is equal to root 2, then this left hand side also rational. Okay, as right hand side is rational, so left hand side must be rational because both are equal. So that's why from equation number 1 we have got, from this equation number 1 we have got root 2 is rational, but the fact is root 2 is irrational. Okay, so this results what we have got here, which contradicts the fact root 2 is irrational. Why this contradiction occur? Due to our wrong assumption. What is the wrong assumption? That 1 by root 2 is rational. We have considered here 1 by root 2 is rational. This is wrong assumption. Then what should be the correct statement? Thus 1 by root 2 is irrational. Okay, that's how we can solve 7 root 5 and 6 plus root 2 as well. So I have given the solutions here, so you may note the solutions. Okay, this is the problem of this is the solution of last problem. Okay.